Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Leslie and today is Kendra's Card Challenge 18 launch and it is a giveaway hop. So definitely check out the playlist down below and you will get to see all the sketches for Kendra's Card Challenge number 18. Welcome to a new quarter. I am working on sketch 11 today and I'm using some random product in my stash. I'm using some Jaded Blossom stamps there, some honeybee pattern paper. We are going to make an Easter card. So we got some carrots, we got some orange pattern paper, we got some green pattern paper, we got some gold glitter, and some beige cardstock. So to start out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my carrot and my sentiment. I carrot a lot about you in Memento Black ink. I'm getting that already stamped because I want it to be completely dried before I go ahead and color it. Since I am only making one card today, just one of the sketches, I am just using some paper that is in my stash, some scraps here. So I'm just cutting it down to that 3 inches and then I will cut 1/2 inch pieces. So I'm just kind of lining that up and counting out how many I actually need, which would be about 5. This orange paper is my paper D if you are following along with the cutting guides and the sketches. So if you're new to Kendra's Cards Challenge, what it is that Cards by Kendra puts on a quarterly challenge. This one is April through June 30th. And what she does is that she creates 15 different sketches using 6 sheets of 6x6 pattern paper. And the fun thing about this quarter is actually those 15 sketches will actually make 18 cards. So Kendra's Card Challenge 18, you're making 18 cards using 6 sheets of 6x6 paper and 15 different sketches. That last sketch actually makes 4 different cards. So that's what's really exciting about this quarter. Today's hop is, of course, a giveaway hop, and my phrase is Crafty Stamp Company. So you can enter to win a fun goodie bag from Cards by Kendra. At each stop, you can enter once by putting in the designer's phrase. So definitely check that out down below. My carrot paper here, it's acting as my paper E, and that involves 5 of those 1/2 inch pieces and then an extra little piece there that I'm actually going to use the back of, and that goes along with your sentiment. So then I'm going to go ahead and the beige paper is going to act as the colored cardstock that goes behind the diagonal pieces. So it's 2 inches thick by 5.5 inches long. And then my green pattern paper, I'm actually bringing in to act as my base cardstock, which you could use as plain cardstock paper, like a solid one. You could emboss it, you could ink blend it, you could make your own design. You make these cards your own. These are always starting off points is what Kendra says. So and then I'm bringing in the glitter that's going to go behind the beige paper and my diagonals. You'll only see 2 thin strips of it. And you could just do those thin strips on the sides. But I'm going to keep it the full length just so it doesn't have any bending and warping in the card. And then I'm also cutting this down for that extra little rectangle that is where my sentiment is going to go. And then this is my card base. I'm just using some white heavy stock cardstock here. I'm cutting it down to 5.5 by 8.5, and then I'm going to fold it at the 4 1/4 because all of these sketches make A2 cards, which is the standard 4 1/4 by 5.5. So moving on, we are going to kind of line up our diagonal pieces here. They do run off the edges. I'm going to glue all mine down and then go ahead and cut around the edge just to make it a little bit easier on me instead of trying to cut them beforehand. I'm just lining them up and I'm eyeballing it, trying to get them as evenly spaced as I can. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that with the other side as well. They do connect to each other. If you look at the sketch, it does kind of connect almost like one the back pattern paper is like a shadow is kind of the goal that you're looking for. So I'm just kind of getting a feel for if my pieces are going the direction that I want them to. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue them down. So to glue them down, I am going to take a piece of Post-it tape here and then put it on the orange pieces just so that they don't move a whole ton, and then go ahead and lift them up a little bit and get that glued down, just so I don't kind of lose my diagonal there. Is this the easiest way to do this? I don't know, but it's the way that worked out for me the best. And then I'm going ahead and using my carrot pieces, and I'm just making sure that they connect at the edges of those orange pieces as well. So I like how this came out. I like that you can see the carrots really well. This is very much an Easter spring card, but you could also, use it at this pattern paper at other times of the season. If your friends are really into like gardening or planting, you could also use these carrots for that kind of idea as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and use some liquid glue and get that attached to the glitter paper. I'm using liquid glue here instead of tape runner just because I really want it to seep into that glitter paper. That glitter doesn't come off, but it doesn't like to stick real well to tape adhesive. So I am going to use tape adhesive for my base card pattern paper there, getting that attached. And then I did put a little bit of tape inside my card just so it stays closed as I attach the rest of the pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and do some liquid glue on this 2-inch piece, which is a little bit more than 2 inches because of the glitter. And then I'm going to keep putting my acrylic blocks on things just so that they actually get really adhered well. So this little orange piece of paper, I am going to fishtail. That's what it calls for in the sketch. At the end of my card, you'll see I probably didn't even need to do that for this particular one because I do end up hiding both sides of the tails just because with my sentiment and the shape it was, and then I'm going to hide the other side with my carrot. So a step that I didn't have to take, but it adds a little bit more detail to it. So these are the colors I'm using: gold, yellow, burnt orange, and dull green. These are my Tri-Blend Spectrum Noir markers that I use for any of my coloring. If you've watched my videos before, you've seen me use them quite often. I am not a professional colorer whatsoever. I'm very much an amateur, so using these Tri-Blends just helps me so much because they already have the light, the medium, and the dark, and that way, and they were a good investment for me. They weren't extremely expensive. It was a good set for me. And then as I grow my collection, I might branch out a little bit more, but this gives me a lot of practice of what it looks like to use the dark and the medium and the light. So all in one. I am using both the yellow and the orange to color my carrot. I'm kind of aiming to have similar looking carrots as the pattern paper. And that did have a lot of lightness that it showed kind of some yellow, some orange. It'll still be my own though here. So, and then I'm going to be using that dull green for the leaves. This is also that time in the video where I say, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new here, go ahead and hit subscribe. I would love for you to watch my other videos. And of course, hit that bell so you're notified when videos are up. I do try to post a couple, 2 to 4 times a month. So I am going to go ahead and die cut those images and my sentiment out using its coordinating dies, and then I decided I did want to put a face on my carrot, so I didn't push out the die pieces, and since this is pretty thick cardstock, it didn't immediately fall out, and so then I did go ahead and stamp those little eyes onto my carrot, and then I'm just using a white gel pen and a black pen to go ahead and fill in those eye colors. It probably would have been easier to go ahead and stamp this beforehand and then maybe keep the stamp in there so that I could darken those the black outlines again, but this ended up working out for me, and I like the little expression that it has. So I did go ahead and pop those out of their paper now, and we're going to go ahead and finish getting this card all put together. So I am using liquid glue again because, again, we're working with that glitter paper, and it's just a little bit easier and more likely to actually stay all together through the mail. And off camera, I did take that white gel pen and add a little bit more interest to my carrot. I gave her some freckles and some highlights, and then I also went around that black border, since there is a white border, making sure that there wasn't any places where I went out of the lines with the marker. So I love this little sentiment. I care it a lot about you. I am popping up half of it with some foam tape just because I do have several pieces of pattern paper there, and then I'm just adding a little bit of glue to the other side just so it doesn't bend and warp. Makes it a little bit smoother there as well. Using my acrylic blocks, they're probably one of my number one tools for crafting, is using those to make sure everything stays down and gets adhered nicely. So I am bumping up my carrot as well a little bit, and then just adding a little bit of glue so that it, again, doesn't bend and warp. So adding a few little gold bling pieces here. This is just some embellishment that is in my stash. I recently organized my stash by color, so I actually can find some things now. And that is my final card. So again, I did sketch 11 of Kendra's card challenge number 18. Definitely check out the playlist down below and make sure you fill out that giveaway form, because Kendra does have a $250 goodie bag for everyone that's, or first lucky winner that's watching. So again, the phrase for my video is Crafty Stamp Co. So definitely check out that giveaway down below. And then, of course, we do have a live stream on April 6th to celebrate all of Kendra's Card Challenge 17. So check it out, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye.